Hi, I'm Glenn Hughes.
And I'm Ed Muzio.
For 3 decades, I've been working inside a publicly traded company.
And for over a decade, I've been an entrepreneur supporting companies like Glenn's from the outside.
In this series, we look at the problems and challenges of the modern workplace
and provide our ideas and advice
from the inside
and out. It's funny, in moving around between different companies, I get to see all the different inside work environments, from cubes to beanbag chairs to stodgy offices with big wooden doors. And people always ask me, is this better here than it is elsewhere? So, Glenn, what's your take on Cubeville, open floor plan, closed door offices? What do you think?
Boy, I've been in all of them. I've worked in what we called the bullpen, which was one giant cube with 10 people in it. I've worked on a manufacturing floor where I never had a desk or an office or a phone or anything. I've worked in offices, I've worked in cubes, and I don't think there's a pat answer. I think the work determines how you interact with your tasks and other people, and that needs to be optimized. I do have preferences, as I'm sure you do. What's your preference?
Well, I can tell you that by telling you what I have for an office right now, which is I have an office with a door that I can close, and it has windows on 2 corners. I got lucky with my lease. But after I worked in Cubeville for a number of years, I said to myself, if I'm going to be on my own, at least I could see outside, and not have to walk down the hall to see out the window. So my preference is that. Having said that, I'm starting to see, at least in the small business community, more and more of this kind of shared workspace where people will actually put up an office and say you can have your own office in the corner, but we have big shared workspaces and you have that experience of being in a larger company. That's kind of a cool idea. I haven't tried it. I have all this infrastructure now, phone systems and everything that would make it hard for me to go back to that. But I'm a little jealous because I think I'd like to have more of the collaboration feel, even though I'm a smaller business. You get that automatically here. So what's your preference?
All of the above. I think there's a lot of work I do, and some of the work is better when it's by myself in a closed space where I'm uninterrupted. Other times there's work that requires interaction. That could be controlled interaction with a set group of 3 or 4 people, or it could be uncontrolled interaction where there's sort of these spontaneous bursts of energy and input. Do you have the same range?
Yeah, in fact, I get a big kick at coming to your workplace because my workplace, it's me and my operations coordinator's there, and I'll close the door to be alone, or I'll open the door and walk back and forth and talk with her, but there's a total of 2 of us. My other person is off-site, and there's contractors. I love coming to your site, and I sit in a big kind of a conference room or a training room, and people come and go, and we chat about different things. I could never get an article written in that context, but I sure do get a lot of ideas and a lot of creativity work done. I couldn't be here all the time like that. I guess that's why you sometimes like to detach as well, right?
Yeah, there's the divergent zone and the convergent zone, right? And when I'm being divergent, when I'm brainstorming, when I'm testing ideas, when I want to verbalize something I've been thinking about, that amount of interaction from other people, the open space, the cubes, the ability to not have to make an appointment or knock at a door to get into someone is hugely enabling. On the other hand, when I'm in the convergence zone and I've got all these ideas in my head, now I have to make something out of them. More often than not, I want to be in a closed zone. So I either want to be in my office, or actually preferably for me is in my home. I like work at home.
I think what we're kind of getting to here, which is maybe the useful takeaway for the people watching, is you have whatever you have in terms of what your office will allow. Maybe you have work at home policies, maybe you don't, maybe you have a cube, maybe you have a door. But if you pay some attention to what work you're trying to do, and within the parameters of what's possible, do what you can to have some alone time when you need to do convergence, to have some contact when you need to do divergence.
Yeah.
In the Cubeville that I worked in, we had a little sign that said do not disturb that was on a chain across it. We called it our door. But yeah. I would block time and put that up to do my convergence work, and that was helpful. It wasn't perfect.
A lot of people use headphones.
Yeah, headphones. Something that says don't talk to me right now is useful, and also something that says do talk to me right now is useful. I think there's different ways to achieve that. So maybe that's the question back to the viewers is, what ways do you have to create something like a bullpen or an open environment, and what ways do you have to isolate yourself when you need to do that?